you are looking to move to the Temecula Valley, you may have heard of many of the different cities here in the area. Obviously, we all know Temecula, Murrieta, but you may now have heard of Menifee and Winchester. These are two of the surrounding areas that are pretty darn affordable. And so today we are going to put those two cities head to head. Menifee versus Winchester. Which one is the best option for you if you're considering a move here? Hopefully this video helps you weigh out those options and see what is best for you. Let's dive in. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, your local Temecula Valley realtor, and this channel is dedicated to all things Temecula Valley. From new construction tours, neighborhood spotlights, to new businesses coming here to the Valley, we give you a breakdown on exactly what it's like to live here in the Temecula Valley. Thanks for tuning in. Let's dig into today's content. I've said it before, I will say it again, these are my favorite type of videos. We put two cities head to head. We compare the affordability, the schools, the traffic, the crime, all of those pieces that are important to you as a buyer and help you decide which is the winner. And we may declare something a winner because of different tallies in different categories, but the choice is up to you on which you prefer. So today we are going to compare all of those categories, see which city actually comes out on top. Let's start first and foremost with affordability. First off, let's start with Menifee. What is the average price point in Menifee, California? That, as of the date of this recording, is $550,000. For Winchester, that number actually jumps up to $620,000 as your average price point home. That's a $70,000 difference in price, making Menifee the more affordable option. And as we've discussed about in other videos, Menifee has actually been named the #7 boomtown in the entire country. So you get a ton of bang for your buck and tons of new construction, tons of new shopping coming there. I really see values starting to explode there in the future. So if you're looking for a great place to invest, I'm gonna put it into Menifee there. Winchester is also a great option as far as affordability because it is still less than Murrieta and Temecula home prices, and it's just outside of those two main cities. So for the win here in the affordability category, I have to give it to Menifee, but Winchester is a close second. Side note on the affordability piece, obviously these prices are as of the date of the recording of this video, so if you would like up-to-date information on where the prices stand for each of these communities, please give me a call. I promise to return that call immediately, let you know exactly where things stand, because as I've said, Menifee being a boomtown, I expect that number to probably surpass Winchester in the near future. Let's talk about what there is to do in each of these cities. Menifee honestly doesn't have a ton to do compared to its sister cities, Murrieta and Temecula, so a little bit less on the entertainment side. However, being the boomtown that it is growing very quickly. There are new shops going in, all sorts of restaurants coming in, as well as theaters, and there's going to be a ton to do in the future, but as of right now, not a lot to do as far as entertainment goes. There are some golf courses and a few places you can go to there, maybe some hiking trails you can find here and there, but outside of that, as far as things you can pay for, events you can go to, all that kind of stuff, Menifee's a little bit limited other than visiting some of the other parks that are built within the area. For Winchester, there's about the same amount of construction, new things coming into the area. It is being developed just like Menifee. However, it does have a few natural characteristics that do give it some options as far as things to do. So inside of Winchester, you actually have Lake Skinner. This is a place that you can go, you can camp, there's hiking, there's nature trails, you can go fishing, you can take boats out on the lake. You can't swim inside of there, but you can actually get out on the water, and so it gives you things to do. And actually outside of Winchester, you're actually bordering right up against Hemet, which has Diamond Valley Lake, which is very similar. So if you like being on the water, fishing, camping, doing all that stuff around those type of places, Winchester is absolutely the place for you. And what puts the icing on top of the cake is that Winchester actually hosts the Balloon and Wine Festival that comes here to the area every single year. This is one of the biggest events of the year. Temecula usually takes the credit for it, but officially it is inside of Winchester, and this brings hot air balloons, major concerts, a ton of wineries bringing their product out there to be sampled by people. It's a very fun event. It's one of the biggest events here of the year, and Winchester gets to call itself the home of the Balloon and Wine Festival, which, because of that, I have to give the win to Winchester as far as things to do. So if you enjoy water, hikes, nature, balloon and wine festivals, Winchester is your place. Let's talk schools. So this is important, obviously, if you have kids or you plan to have kids in the future. Where do we stand as far as school ratings? Now, I always reference greatschools.org when it comes to breaking down the ratings for schools, and that is a great resource. So if you are looking for scores for individual schools, for different school districts, for different cities, that is a great place to start. So greatschools.org does some great rating breakdowns for us, and that's what we will use to categorize who the winner is in this category. Now, for the city of Menifee, there are 5 schools in Menifee with a 7 or higher on the great school scale, and that's a scale of 1 to 10. So a 7 or higher is pretty good, and we do see most of the schools in Murrieta, Temecula falling into that category. So Menifee, 5 schools over the 7 mark on the great schools rating scale. When it comes to Winchester, Winchester actually is an unincorporated area, and so it doesn't actually have its own official school system. And so it actually borrows a little bit from Temecula and doesn't have its own official school system. So advantage to you if you live in Winchester, in the areas that take advantage of Temecula schools, you may get a Winchester price and get to take advantage of a Temecula school, and that's an advantage for sure. But because Winchester does not have its own official school system, it does have to borrow from surrounding areas and bus out to different areas. It's going to be a little bit longer commute. Because of that, it doesn't have any official great school ratings, so we are going to give the win here to Menifee because of its schools do have some of the up-and-coming school rankings going on, and they are increasing every single year, better test scores, and so you can expect a flourishing school system in Menifee for years to come. Let's talk safety. I don't care who you are, this is always something that is on your radar when it comes to living in a home and making a purchase in an area. So we've broken down the safety ratings for each of the 2 cities, and so we've actually used a survey by area vibes that breaks down which city is safer compared to other US cities. When it comes to Menifee, Menifee is actually 57% safer than the rest of cities in the United States. Now, when it comes to Winchester, that number is 46% safer than US cities, which means technically Menifee is a little bit safer, and let me tell you why. Again, Winchester is an unincorporated area, and so it actually uses the sheriff department and in some places, California Highway Patrol to enforce the law in the area. Menifee was like that for many, many years, but back in 2020, brought in its own police department, and that police department has radically changed the crime statistics in the area, and it's been a great addition to that city. So as far as safety goes, we have to give the win here to Menifee. Next up, let's talk traffic. If you are new to Southern California, you better get used to it. There is traffic anywhere you go, and roadways are going to be congested. Freeways, you're going to have rush hour traffic here and there. So you absolutely need to expect that. So that's why we always address it here, because some cities are better than others and have a little bit more relief and are a little bit more commuter friendly. So let's break down the traffic for Menifee and Winchester. When it comes to traffic inside of Menifee, you've got the 215 freeway that runs right alongside of Menifee. That is your main roadway to get in and out. It's going to take you north or south. It'll take you up to Riverside or south down into Temecula, where you can take the 15 freeway to get anywhere else that you are looking to go. But Menifee does not have a ton of main roadways. There's really just one main road that runs through there called Newport Road. It is a very large street, very wide. That's where all of the shopping, all of the entertainment, all of the restaurants are right now. And so it is heavily, heavily congested. You can expect traffic almost at all hours of the day when it comes to driving on Newport. Then you have to hop on that 215 freeway, which is a little bit smaller than all of the rest of the freeways here in the area, and that can get heavily congested for commuters as well. So heavy congestion when it comes to driving through Menifee. Now let's talk about Winchester. Winchester, again, is a little bit less developed, does not have any main freeways that run through Winchester. We've got Highway 79, which is really just a road that runs through Winchester. That is your main access point and gets you into Murrieta or into Temecula so that you can hit the main freeway, the 15 freeway. There is now a cut through Clinton Keith, which will take you into Murrieta and allow you to access the 215 freeway. But the only access that you've got in or out of Winchester is through Highway 79, known as Winchester Road. That is your main access point, and you can expect that to be backed up almost all the time as well. That is going to be a very, very busy road, again, getting you your only access in and out of Winchester to get to the main highways. So that can be very congested as well. Honestly, for this one, I'm going to call it a tie. These both have high congestion areas, a little limited access to get in and out of, and limited freeway access as well. So I'm going to call this a tie. These are both incredibly friendly towns to commuters, to commute down to San Diego, to LA, to Orange County. So if you're a commuter, great option for you anywhere here, but I'm going to call it a tie as far as the traffic goes.